New York City, what the are you doing? Let's start with that. But first, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the merch in the description. Undisputed, Dustin Poirier. Hopefully, I'm confident he's going to take the belt from Charles Oliveira tomorrow night. But let's kick this bad boy off. New York City mandates. Dude, why? First of all, California through the pandemic, I think, was by far the strictest of all. But now New York City is really pushing the boundaries of what you can and cannot do to people with mandates. Now, keep in mind, mandates are not laws. Mandates are just restrictions imposed upon people by the governing body, the mayor, the governor of the state. It's not a law. So let's have a look at what New York is trying to do. All indoor public places across New York State must require masks for all people or proof of full vaccination prior to entry, a sweeping measure the governor announced Friday in an effort to curb winter COVID surge that shows no signs of slowing. Now, let's stop there. COVID is not going to slow down. It is going to keep spreading because that's what viruses do. We're not going to kill the virus. It's going to keep spreading. Now, it may or may not be less dangerous. However, doing this is not going to stop the spread. It's going to keep going. It goes into effect on Monday and covers all and any indoor space that is not a private residence. You walk outside your home, no matter where you go, that's not your house. It is now mandated that you wear a mask or you have proof of full vaccination. That's not just one vaccine. That's a vaccine, a booster, a booster, a booster, a booster. Non-compliance comes with fines up to $1,000 for each violation, and local health departments are being asked to enforce the requirements. The measure will be reassessed on January 15th, Governor Kathy Hochul said. In the meantime, here's a look at 3 options the affected places will have starting Monday and what businesses, patrons, and employees need to know about each of them. What I find interesting about this is that if you are fully vaccinated, you can absolutely contract, carry, and distribute COVID to motherfuckers out there. So why is the vaccination thing such a big deal? So if you're vaccinated, no mask. If you're not vaccinated, mask. Both people can carry and spread the virus. What sense does this make? Doesn't make any sense to me. Number 1, proof of full course vaccination requirement. Businesses and venues that implement a proof of vaccination requirement can accept whatever that is, Excelsior Pass Plus, smart health cards issued outside of New York State, or a CDC vaccination card. In accordance with the CDC's definition of fully vaccinated, full course vaccination is defined as 14 days past the individual's last vaccination dose of their initial vaccine series, 14 days after. The state also accepts WHO-approved vaccines. For these purposes, parents and guardians can retrieve and store an Excelsior Pass and Excelsior Pass Plus for children or minors under the legal guardianship. The next thing, mask wearing requirement. Businesses and venues that implement a mask requirement must ensure all patrons 2 years and older wear a mask at all times while indoors. If you don't wear your mask, they can get the health department to come fine you $1,000 effing dollars. All right, the third thing on the list here, continued mask requirements. People who aren't vaccinated are still responsible for wearing masks. In accordance with federal CDC guidance, the state's masking requirements continue to be in effect for pre-K, grade 12 schools, public transit, homeless shelters, correctional facilities, nursing homes, and healthcare settings per the CDC guidelines. New York State continues to strongly recommend mask wearing in all public indoor settings as an added layer of protection, even when not required. Children under 5 who remain ineligible for vaccination must wear a proper fitting mask. COVID vaccines and booster doses are free and widely available statewide. New Yorkers can get the vaccine pretty much anywhere. So, where does this leave us? How long does this last? Until January 15th? I foresee some lawsuits happening for sure. You're going to find people for breaking this mandate. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is probably the most, even since the pandemic started, this is probably borderline the harshest mandate we've seen yet. That's huge. Aside from just telling people to stay home, that is huge. I want to see how this plays out. I personally think that's an absolute shit show. If you're vaccinated, you can carry the vaccine and spread it to other people. If you're unvaccinated, you can carry it and spread it to other people. You know, if you're really concerned about your health and the effects of it, stay away from people. Don't go places. I want to see how this plays out. Let me know what you think of this mandate. Now, this is just in New York. We'll see if any other states adopt it. I don't see it happening. I think New York's just such a highly, densely populated, dirty city that they're just going to try to do something, because New York did have some of the biggest outbreak zones in the COVID pandemic. There's no way other states are jumping on board with this. I think people are going to fight it. They will. I mean, the next step, if they tell people to stay home and away from their family, game over. People are going to freaking lose their mind. Let's see what happens on Monday. I think there will be some sort of court lawsuit and someone's going to get sued over this. Let me know what you think. Leave your comment below and I'll get back to them. We'll read them, we'll go over it, and we'll talk with some other people about it. But until then, guys, have a great weekend.